Hello, we're here at Shoe Healer and I'm just going round some shoes trying to find any of the shoes that leave a little bit of a gap between the heel stack and the sole. We used to get people in complaining about a little gap forming here between the leather heel stack and the shoe sole and boot. Just here, just in that corner there, look. And if I push down on these triggers, I can just about make a little gap there. Can you see that tiny little gap forming there? Now, sometimes when the boot is relaxed, that gap can show a little bit. You just put a bit of polish in it. It's not the heel stack coming off. It's a little bit of movement, a little bit of softening in the heel stack, because the heel stack is fastened quite well in with a row of nails round here. So it allows for a little bit of movement there. A lot of the manufacturers, they now machine this and bond it as well. There's no real need to. Paul does it on all of his just to stop that gap from forming. But it's not a fault. It's just how the boots are made. And I can hardly get any of these. I mean, I'm sure some of these are now bonded, especially where it's a rubber sole with a leather heel stack. I'm looking at the Barkers to see if I can make a Barker do it. And I just can't get that gap to show. If I come over here to the Cheaneys and look at the Cheaneys as well, see if all leather heel stacks, by the way, see if I can get, I just can't get it. So probably the manufacturers are now machining where the seat of the heel is, and when they put that heel stack on there, it's bonding solidly. We'll go around the other side and I'll just show you around here a shoe with another heel stack on. Okay, here we are with a shoe that's got a compressed cardboard heel stack on it. Come in here and have a look. This heel stack, people ask, is it really important to have a leather heel stack like all the shoes we've just seen? And this one here, this is a Tailbiz heel stack made up of 3 lifts. 3 lifts in there, sometimes can be 4 lifts. We will machine these down. It's got a slight concave surface on there on the bed of the heel stack, so when it goes onto the shoe, it holds nice and tight round the edges, and then we will rivet inside the shoe through to this heel stack. This heel on here, solid heel stack. It's a compressed cardboard heel stack. And look, I can just chew that up on this shoe here, on this compressed cardboard heel stack. Here's another boot with a compressed cardboard heel stack on it. On this boot, they actually put a layer of leather and then a compressed cardboard heel stack. So that's the heel stacks in there. Not particularly great, not what we want to see on a good quality boot. These boots have just come in for repair. Beautiful pair of Joseph Cheaney, and this Joseph Cheaney has got the Commando sole, and the customer has noticed on his Commando sole that it's cracking a little bit. Now, this sole is used by all the other manufacturers, all the top manufacturers, the original Commando sole. And if we look in closely here, look, we can just see, can you see where that's cracking there? Look, you see, look. And that is eventually going to crack all the way across. The sole isn't completely worn out, but have a look on this one here as well, look, and we can see there that's starting to crack round the lugs there, and eventually that will come across and crack all the way. This is a lovely boot. The customer has told me that he's had them in his cupboard a while and he's not worn them, and that is usually what causes that sort of cracking across there, is when the boot's not been worn a long time. Some other customers will say in the winter, when the boot was freezing cold, the rubber, when it flexed, it cracked across there. We see it on some other soles as well. We particularly see it on a Victory sole, where it cracks down the side of the V on the Victory sole. You wouldn't believe it, because this is a lovely pliable rubber. It really is fabulous. The Commando sole now comes in a different rubber. This is the old rubber, and this is the one that is sometimes prone to cracking. Not very often, but sometimes it's prone to cracking when it's only halfway worn through. This is the new rubber. Now, Paul tells me he didn't like this rubber Commando sole initially. It was too soft for him. He preferred the solid one, but now he's changed his mind. When he's been machining this rubber, he says it gets red hot and it smokes like car tyre material. It's a super product, and I can't think that this is ever going to crack because it's so flexible. It's lovely, it really is. These boots here have come in for repair. He's having a full rebuild because we've noticed the cracks in there. is having a little bit of stitching on the facing that's lifting a little bit. At some point on these boots, and he had these boots maybe 12 years ago from us, he's had a back lining in them that's nicely worn in. Now, on the heel stack, the beautiful leather heel stack, you do sometimes see, can you see that just starting to lift a little bit there? Yep, and it's where there's a soft lift on top. It's riveted in the middle and it's allowing a little bit of movement there. It's not the end of the world. And when we do this repair for him, what we'll do is we'll just put a bit of glue in there and we will rivet the corners of the heel stack before we put his new heel on. But having said all that, I'm talking rubbish because it's having a full rebuild. So it will be getting some brand new, beautiful tail heel stacks in there. But if it was just coming in for the heel repair, we would take the heel off, solution and pin the corners at the front, and that would keep that heel stack beautiful for the life of the shoe. Right, we will go over now and look at some repairs that have come in. Okay, so it's a Tuesday now after the bank holiday, and these are the orders from the weekend waiting to go out. Shoes here going to Port Talbot, couple of pair of shoes there, pair going to Exeter, pair going to Liskeard, no, I'm pronouncing that right, Basingstoke, Stourbridge and Preston. Quite a few pairs there going off to Preston. So these are all new shoes going out after the weekend, and then a pair there going to France and a pair going to America, going to San Diego in America. A little shop in Doncaster selling shoes all over the world. These are repairs. We have repairs that come in to us from all over the place, and let's have a look where these are from. These are from Bedfordshire, so let's have a look what we've got. You might speed this up on the video as I'm just opening this. Right, what have we got here? We have got a beautiful old pair of trickers. Look at those gorgeous trickers. That is the Kendall. Lovely, lovely shoe. I believe originally that either had leather or had Commando sole. And that's coming for a full rebuild. Beautiful old shoe, worn in really nicely. Has it had a repair? Well, it must have, because this this shoe, I'm sure, started life with a leather sole or a Commando sole. Yeah, little bit of cracking on the uppers there, but they'll be fine. They'll be absolutely fine. FS factory second as well they are, so we'll get those sorted out. These have been opened. Let's have a look. Pair of trickers from Brighton. Let's have a look what we've got here. We've got all the information there of what needs doing. Commando sole and heel, leather midsole to match the natural welt. See photo enclosed, and ooh, these are lovely. Let's have a look. Oh, look at that. So somebody's bought a new pair of trickers, may have got themselves a bargain somewhere, and they're not quite happy with this sole that's on here, and we're having this change to Commando. The midsole on this boot is a microfoam sole midsole on there, and it's got the Rambler sole on there that Paul tells me is super hard wearing, but the look of the boot will be improved, I think, when we put a beautiful leather midsole and then stitch on the Commando unit, a full leather heel stack in the heel there, and then the Commando heel on. That will be a beautiful conversion on those there. Next pair we've got, these are to the shoe healer. And what have we got? Oh, beautiful pair of trickers. That is lovely. What a beautiful boot that is. Size 7 Stow. It's got the day-night sole and heel. I believe this leather is the kudu leather. Really soft, beautiful looking boot. Yeah, fabulous. Kudu. I don't know what that's in for. There'll be some paperwork in here. Let's have a look what we're having on these feet trickers. I would like these to be resold in Ridgeway sole. Fabulous choice, whoever's gone for that. The Ridgeway sole on there, that will look beautiful. Ridgeway soles. Next pair, let's have a look what we've got. These are from Don't know where they're from. So what have we got here? Oh, a new pair of boots. This is a customer order. The Ian Harold boot. Fabulous boot. Let's have a look what we've got here. Oh, it's the Kangaroo Ian Harold boot. What a brilliant boot this is. Fabulous. Super hard wearing. What a gorgeous shape that is. You could just work in this, dig the garden, walk the dog, polish them up and go out in them. Fabulous boot. That's coming for a customer. Lovely, lovely, lovely. So that's the post today at the shoe healer. Shoes waiting to go out, repairs coming in. Busy, 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 thankfully. Hello, here's the shoes. They're all finished now. These Joseph Cheaneys that had the split in the Commando sole. We've gone for the softer compound here. A lovely, lovely sole. There is a little bit of something. I'm going to do another video about these soles. They're here. Look, all the different soles, all the different manufacturers, who makes them, who doesn't make them anymore, and who used to make them, and the pros and cons of which sole you should really go for. But that's another video. This is the shoe all done, the Joseph Cheaney. We've put some colour back into it, polished it slightly darker, just to richen up the shoe a little bit, the boot, should I say. So it's had all the Commando sole stitched on, the new heel stack. It's all in there, it's all sorted out, ready to go back to the customer.